flight carrying deported migrants has just arrived in Venezuela. Guys, let's go ahead and check this out immediately. This is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's jump into it.
I want to tie in that story to our next story, and this is our segue here. Remember, one of the rationales from the Trump DOJ in dismissing the Eric Adams indictment was because it was infringing on Adams' ability there in the Big Apple to enact illegal immigration enforcement in the form of deportations. Let's go now from New York City to Venezuela. Take a look at this. This is breaking news right now.
So we have
this is a live picture there on the tarmac at Venezuela's main international airport. And you are seeing now yet another deportation flight with Venezuelans deported from the U.S. By the way of Honduras, and it landed there in Caracas. And so you've been seeing some of this undocumented migrants step down the plane there, and they're wearing all white, kind of in these white sweatsuits, gray sweatsuits with masks, red masks. And you see them there.
That man just fall?
So,
why are they wearing masks?
Looks like the feed isn't the best. But this is...
Guys, I'm not a theorist, but what's going on with that? Because this is a sickness back out there, guys, or something?
Second time we have seen this in just a matter of weeks. And you remember mere weeks ago, U.S. Special Envoy Rick Grenell traveled to Venezuela, brokered with the Venezuelan government. Remember, the previous Biden administration does not recognize Venezuela's autocratic leader, Nicolas Maduro, as the duly elected leader of Venezuela. Okay. Nonetheless, the Trump administration brokered a deal with the Maduro government in order for the United States to send some of these deportation flights to Venezuela to return some of these undocumented migrants who were from Venezuela in the first place. And that's what you're seeing right now, some of them. So remember, during the Biden administration, there was a cutoff, a particular date that if a Venezuelan undocumented migrant made it to the United States by whatever means, they would be shielded from deportation under this designation known as Temporary Protected Status, TPS.
Yeah, and then a lot of people like from other countries started basically taking advantage of it. Again, guys, I have not a single issue at all with the concept of an actual refugee or an actual asylum seeker. But if you were here to basically take advantage of the asylum system in the first place and utilize it for some type of economic migrancy purpose, then I'm not sure you're, working in good faith here, guys.
Nation known as Temporary Protected Status, TPS.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, of course, with the Trump administration, that is no longer operative. And that is why you were seeing some of these undocumented Venezuelan migrants return now to their country of origin. Now, remember, a large majority of these individuals in the United States and in Venezuela are either accused of and or convicted of committing crimes. And so...
Let me hear that statement again. Hold on.
Of and or convicted in the United States and in Venezuela are either accused of and or convicted of committing crimes. And so, remember, Tom Homan, the border czar for the Trump administration, said when it comes to deporting some of these undocumented migrants, he says, the worst are going to be the first, meaning that the worst of them will be deported first. And presumably that's what you are seeing right now.
All right, so yeah, definitely what I'm taking from this, I think he may have made like a slight issue or error with the words at least, but that's not the point here. If these are in fact the worst of the worst, not every single person that came to the United States of America is going to commit some type of secondary offense. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, the ones that have actually come in from Venezuela, specifically from the Aragua state, I don't know if these are them. Those individuals are most likely in GITMO. So these are probably ones who, ran traffic lights and committed other type of offenses in the United States of America, because the ones who actually committed like the really, really bad stuff are not being sent back immediately, bro. They're gonna have to serve some time in GITMO, guys. But either way.
And a lot of them are coming off this deportation flight. This is powered there by the the airline Conviasa. And so a lot of these airport workers on the tarmac right now. And we're seeing a similar uniform, kind of a gray and white sweatsuit there, red masks covering some of their faces, some of their mouths.
I wonder what the reason is.
And remember, here on Live Now from Fox, we have covered extensively the crackdown on this Venezuelan gang within the United States, and they have seemingly found safe harbor illegally. That gang, remember, TDA, Tren de Aragua, it originated in a Venezuelan prison, and some of the members and expats of the gang made their way to set up shop in the United States. And we've seen a large crackdown on some of those efforts by law enforcement, including and especially not only in the New York City area, but also in the Denver metro area. Let's just listen to this sound, some of the natural sound on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everyone seems to be returning. I mean, peacefully, guys.
Okay, so if you're just joining us here, we're almost at the top of the hour. You are watching scores of undocumented Venezuelan migrants arrive back in Venezuela after being deported from the United States under the Trump administration's efforts to round up some of these undocumented migrants, a majority of whom are either accused or have been convicted of committing crimes within the United States and or their country of origin.
Okay. Majority.
And look at all of them come off this plane. Wow. This is the second site that we have seen in the past several weeks, and they are coming from the United States by way of Honduras. And you'll remember some of them from the Trump administration setting up shop there at the U.S. Naval Station, Naval Base in Cuba at Guantanamo Bay, GITMO, to house and detain some of them, waiting for these deportation flights. And I believe that is what has happened here. I believe that is one of these cases in which some of these Venezuelans were briefly detained there.
Okay.
At GITMO in Cuba.
So then definitely some of these actually, some of these people here could definitely be part of TDA in some form or fashion. All right.
So really just a stunning display of the agreements in place with a country that is considered an adversary, considered hostile to the United States because of the Maduro regime. Remember, the Maduro regime is now in power still again after fraudulent elections in July of last year that the United States at the time did not recognize. The United States recognized, in our view, the rightful winner of those elections, Edmundo Gonzalez, the opposition leader. And for a time, Gonzalez, remember, had to flee the country alongside other opposition figures who were drawing the suspicion of Maduro forces there in the capital of Caracas.
All right, guys. All right, so people are being sent back to where they had originally come from, specifically the ones who have committed multiple secondary offenses, or they were not multiple secondary offenses, but like secondary offenses, tertiary offenses. You get what I'm saying here? Multiple offenses. They're doing bad things in the United States of America. No problem at all. Pack all of them up immediately, like specifically the ones who are committing all these crimes. Why are you here committing crimes? Right? We liked it over here. But either way, we have enough of our criminals. Okay. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. I thought that this was going to be something a little bit more in depth. This is why, we chose this one from the suggestion pool of 100,000 suggestions. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. The fact that you just made it to the end of the video says a whole lot, actually. We have a couple other channels. MrLboyd Music, MrLboyd Movie Reacts, along with MrLboyd Discusses, where I just generally speak about the things that specifically matter to me. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.